Yep. Welcome to the first episode of the BabexPete Story. Today we're going to talk about the beginning. Why did we start streaming? What happened? How it all went down? This series is going to be pretty in-depth into our experience from the beginning up until the present, and we'll possibly also talk about the future later on in some later episodes of our content creation journey and how it all went down.
So,
June 2015.
June 2015. That's when it all started. That's when we created our first Twitch accounts, or mine, anyways.
Yeah, at least
I think you might have had yours a little bit earlier than that for
not
watching.
By much.
Not
maybe
by much.
Like a week or so.
So, at the time, I mean, I honestly didn't even really know that streams were a thing. Like, Pete introduced streaming to me. And
I don't remember how I found it. I feel like it was probably through Reddit or something.
Probably. Well, it definitely came from Destiny. So Destiny 100% started it all.
So Destiny was released 2014, fall of 2014. And a bunch of my friends, hi Bonsai, a bunch of our friends, you can see his eye, there's his nose. We're gonna start playing Destiny. But they got it on PlayStation 4. Yeah, they bought PS4 for it. PlayStation 3?
Yeah,
PlayStation 3.
We were on the Xbox 360 at the time. And then we upgraded to Xbox Ones, and now we're on Xbox One X's.
Yes.
Yeah. So correct. PlayStation 3.
So we didn't actually end up playing with them. I think we might have played with them once, maybe not. I don't even know. But we played Destiny since about 2 or 3 weeks after launch and really enjoyed it. Because it was something that we could play together. It was an FPS, and Bonsai's changing the lighting by nosing out the window.
Can't keep him out of the room because he'll whine to get in. Can't keep him in the room because he'll whine to get out.
What are you gonna say? He's a star. He wants to be a part of it. But yeah, we were. I was watching a bunch of Destiny streams in around when we made our Twitch account, and watching people like Wish You Luck, Crafty, OG Trainwreck, WTF is Poshy, aka just Poshy, and a lot of PvP players, because I'm trying to think of when we got into PvP.
So it was you got into PvP before I did. I actually hated PvP.
She didn't like it at all.
Can you imagine? So I came from a Halo and COD background as far as like Xbox games, and I hated the abilities in Destiny, grenades, supers, all that. I wanted it all to go away. I just wanted to use my weapon, and it drove me absolutely insane. And it's funny now because now I've fully embraced all the cheese.
All you use is your grenade,
right? I just use arc web. Let's be real. But it's So at the time I didn't like it. I actually remember Pete did most of my Thorn quest for me.
Yeah.
So it would have been.
I used Atheon's epilogue, the Future War Call, Fusion Rifle, and the
Wizard 77.
That was Arc. I used.
No, I had a Void one.
Oh. That's right. On my account, I think I used the Future War Cult one, but I also used a corrective measure, and that was the secret sauce back then. So I think we got pretty heavily into the PvP around Dark Below, and then
that sounds right.
And then we got into Trials when it came out, obviously. So this was summer after Trials came out.
When did Trials come out?
Spring of 2015.
Okay, that you know what, that timeline makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I actually think the first thing we streamed was Trials.
No, because
or was it a
because I remember our thought process being we weren't ready to stream Trials because
that was later though. Like we streamed Trials. I remember streaming Trials off of Xbox with a Kinect cam. Like it was one of the first things we streamed. And then I also remember doing some like VOG runs when we were in the Smoke Like a Marley clan. Yeah. And then and then I think we like started to take it a little more seriously and start thinking about like the actual, like actually interacting with people, because we started to have viewers, and then we pulled back from the trial stuff because we didn't feel like it was something that we wanted to stream.
Yeah,
that was like later. Maybe. Though.
Yeah,
but either way, our first Twitch streams were directly off our Xboxes, multiple Xboxes, and they had Kinect cams, and we were sitting on the couch and we were using our headsets as mics, and I don't even know what we were using for chat.
I think you had like a really shitty laptop, and I had my school laptop.
Probably.
And that's what we were using. The one thing was, so we were streaming off 2 different channels.
Yes.
We had Babetron TV and Filipino TV.
Yes.
Which were our gamer tags. We just added TV at the end because obviously that's what you do as a streamer, is you put TV at the end of your
at the time, it sounded
username.
like a really good idea, guys.
We thought that was how you become legit.
We thought that's how it worked.
I mean, Triple Rec did it, so it was
then he got rid of it,
and then he got rid of it, and we're like, oh, maybe not.
So you know what, guys? Honestly, streaming on 2 channels was so stupid.
It was a stupid idea,
and at the time, it was really our only choice.
Because we had 2 Xboxes.
Well, but if we were gonna play, and we kind of had this thing where like, we both wanted to be visible, and
there's no squad streaming. There's no Mixer wasn't a thing yet.
No,
there was no co-streaming, nothing like that.
And we didn't have the capability to do what we do now through our PC, because we didn't have capture cards. We were literally just streaming directly from the Xbox.
Yeah.
So unless like 2 of us squished on the camera and we just had one gameplay, it wasn't really.
But we both.
It wasn't really possible. But we both wanted to. Yeah, we both wanted to be visible, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. But I do know that right away we realized it was really, really dumb.
Yes.
Very quickly.
When people could only really be in one chat at a time, and they're like bouncing back and forth. It just didn't make sense.
Well, people would come into my chat, and they'd be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh, I'm gonna go say hi to
chat.
I'm gonna go say hi to Pete now." And then I'd be like, "All right, bye." And then they'd go say hi to Pete, and you'd hear Pete like literally beside me, being like, "Hey, what's up?" And like, this is so dumb. Like, why are we making them bounce around? It just seemed like such a silly idea. Yeah. To always be playing together and to be growing basically the same community in 2 places.
But it was the lowest barrier to entry, because we didn't have to buy anything extra. Like, we had the Kinects, they came with the Xboxes, and we just did it. So it was kind of like what we recommend to everyone, is just try it.
Yep.
Just see if you like the experience, because you're still going to get the interaction experience with chat and everything.
Before you drop a ton of money and realize it might not be something for you. I think it's also important to talk about, if you're okay with it, how we had different approaches.
Yeah.
So 100%. right off the bat, one of the things that I absolutely loved about streaming was the fact that I got to talk with people. I'm super social outside of stream as well. I've kind of always been that way. So for me, it was like, oh, people come in, I get to talk, like I can play, whatever. And I think I just overall handled that a lot better just off the bat. It was something that I picked up really quickly. Whereas like Pete you've been watching mostly like high-end PvP streamers.
I wanted to be really good at the game and have people say, "Hey, Pete, you're really good at the game."
so like Pete like wouldn't talk to chat, and he'd be like, "Well, like people should just watch me play."
And then they would just leave my channel and then go to yours, because you'd actually talk to them and be like, "Whoa, they're not staying in my channel because why? Am I not good enough?"
So there was kind of like right off the bat, there was just kind of this divide where I had a very like, "Hey, I want to chat with people" vibe to my stream, and Pete. And honestly, Pete, you know what? I think it was just the channels that you were watching. I feel like that's just kind of what you felt like you should be. Was like, be the best, be like, provide great gameplay, and like people will come watch. So it definitely was, I mean, like we learned from that, you know. It was very ignorant it was very ignorant to feel that way and think that way. And
but it's kind of cool how like in that aspect there are a lot of aspects where we're very similar and we have very similar tastes.
Yes.
But having that be like a very clear difference over the years, it takes years, we let it shift for both of us.
Yes.
I've let myself be more chat oriented, more entertainment oriented, regardless of the gameplay. And then you've also worked on improving in the Crucible and like what you're playing as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of meeting in the middle.
So I think
taking both aspects of it, which are both good. I think they're both key aspects to.
I think that's really one
content.
Of the reasons that we work so well, is because we're so different but the same. So it's like, you know, like opposites attract, or you have two pieces of the puzzle, or like yin and yang, or however you want to look at it. Like the things that I excel at that Pete might be weaker at, he excels at the opposite things that I might be weaker at. So when we come together for like this perfect like super power, like
Voltron.
Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. I mean, I know that some of you guys have seen it, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes where, like, you know, Pete steps in and he can just figure something out that I'm struggling with, or vice versa. So it's definitely really nice to have another perspective on things. So basically what happened was my channel took off and Pete's didn't, to the same extent. And we already knew it was dumb to stream separately anyways. So we started to figure out how we could stream together on the same channel.
And
we
we'll
knew
get into
it
that
was possible.
in depth in the next episode.
We knew it was possible because we'd seen Lucky and Buttwipe do it.
Yes.
And they were very, very good at not telling you how.
I remember they had
like
a setup
nothing
video.
anywhere.
Yeah, they had a setup video that was basically like, here's Lucky's PC and here's Buttwipe's PC and there's some wires and shit, and then there's our streaming PC. No, they just had two PCs.
Yeah, they had two PCs.
And then here's a camera we have, and no
software detail, no
actually
nothing.
set things up.
We had absolutely no idea how it worked. It took us so long to figure that out, and we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah. But as far as like starting out streaming, that's basically how we got into it, and that's that was our beginning. A couple other things that we started that we had never done before is using social media. We had never used Twitter or anything like that.
No.
So that was our first experience with that.
I honestly didn't understand like the purpose of Twitter. I thought it was like Facebook statuses.
But everyone had a Twitter, and everyone said to make a Twitter, so we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody that we had met kind of in the streaming world was like, you should make a Twitter, you should make a Twitter. Actually, I worked at the time at a car dealership, and somebody that I worked with streamed on Twitch. And he was actually pretty known in the like WoW community for PvP, like participated in tournaments and stuff. And he helped me out, but I'd talk to him about stuff and he'd be like, yeah, Twitter's like really important. I remember him telling me that it was really important. And I was like, fine. So I went home and I made one. And like some of our first really good friends, we met right on Twitter, and then we were hanging out in their streams like every day. People that come to mind are like Guardian Outpost, Tokyo D,
Diamonds,
who would have been Tokyo Diamonds at the time. He still streams on Twitch, and I'm super excited actually to be over there again soon.
Yeah,
we're getting.
You haven't seen our announcement, which I'm guessing you have. We're moving back to Twitch.
Yes.
So we started on. I guess we didn't really mention, but maybe we did. But we started watching streams on Twitch. That was the premier streaming is.
And yeah, so we met like these people, you know, just kind of through the Twitter algorithm and following a bunch of people that streamed on Twitch, and starting to really like network. And I mean, when I say network, like when you start, And even now, like, people don't know what networking is. I mean,
No.
there's no general rule set to how it works. What I will say is that you shouldn't fall for follow, or host for host, or lurk for lurk, or any of that stuff, because at the end of the day, it's not going to really help you grow in any sort of way. It's like fake inflation, and it actually can look really bad later on. If you have like 5,000 followers and 0 viewers, it looks really bad. Unless you did some time and you took a big break and you came back and you kind of are restarting. But like, it just doesn't look good.
So some other do's and don'ts is, don't just go into someone's stream and be like, hey, I stream, can you follow me? That's also, don't
see that a lot. We see that a lot. And I think one of the struggles for people that are starting out is, how do I tell other people that I stream without telling them I stream? Yep. Right? Like, how can I network with people and try to be friends and work together to grow my community and like help grow yours, however you want to look at it, without directly saying that. We
have a Patreon tip specifically on networking, and some of the things that we talk about. Some of the things we talk about in there. One of the first things is, one of your primary objectives for networking is just to make friends. Mm-hmm. Just find people that you enjoy hanging out with and engaging with, and engage with them. That's going to be your first thing. Second is not to make a differentiation. Like, be very honest with what's going on. If you have an objective of, hey, I see this person around the same size, same following as me, and I want to get to know them in a streaming sense and a business sense. Don't go in there acting like you're going to be their friend. Don't go in there being like, hey, we should be friends, and then try to get something out of them. Yeah. Because that's gutty and it's not right. If your sole goal, and I don't even recommend this because it doesn't really feel good anyways, it's way better to make actual friends. But if you're going to go in there and try and get something from them, then at least you can say that, and then they can probably say no, and then you can move on with it.
Well, I think that it, there are friendships and professional relationships in content creation. I think it's fair to say that. I think some relationships with people are just more professional than they are friendships, and that's fine too, as long as everybody's on the same page about what's going on. It can really, really suck when you think someone's your friend and then you find out that they were just trying to use you for their own personal growth or something. But it is a really, really good idea to go through directories that you are frequent in, that you stream in yourself, games that you play, things that you watch, whatever, and try to make friends with people that you vibe with, that you think you'd be good friends with, that are around the same size as you, because that you'll have a lot more in common with those people than you will with people of a much bigger size or a much smaller size, and they're probably going to be more likely to support you in the ways that you're supporting them.
Basically, they're going to be more approachable.
Yes.
It's going to be easier to, when you have, for example, let's use concurrent viewers as a metric, right? If you're at like 10 and you try to engage with someone who's at like 10, they're most likely going to actually respond to you. If you try to engage with someone who's at 500, they're busy as fuck. They got a lot going on, and it's going to be a lot tougher. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, because it may happen.
Here's the other thing too, just to jump in there. If you're trying to engage with the person at 500, it can look really bad on you very easily, whether your intentions are malicious or not. So whether you're trying to use them or you genuinely just want to be friends, they're probably going to think that you just kind of want something from them because they have more success than you do as far as numbers, if you're looking directly just at numbers. Which is something that it's hard. Like we try not to take it as anybody doing that. Like we always try to give people the best, what's the word I'm looking for?
The benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt. Thank you. We always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. It is very obvious to us when people are 100% just trying to use us, though. Like we've had those people and we just deal with it. But for the most part, we just try to assume everybody's doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Little networking tangent. I hope some people learned some stuff from that.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads into one of the first, I guess, communities that we got really involved with, which is Guardian Outpost community. We met a lot of people through Guardian Outpost way back in the day in 2015.
Yep.
And met a lot of good friends through his community. And that was probably our first experience with the whole networking thing. And it's at its backbone, networking in this industry, which is a very weird and tricky industry, is a lot of just finding people that you relate to and have good vibes with.
Yep. And
going from there and kind of fostering those relationships, because regardless of whether you share views or not, whether you prop each other up or not, it's going to be beneficial for you to have good relationships with people, even just people to talk with, to play games with, to have a good time and chat with.
Yep. Those
are all important positive aspects to being in this whole ecosystem. So that's definitely one thing very important, is friends first.
Yep, for sure. I think starting to stream now is a lot different from when we started. When we started streaming, there was no Twitch affiliate program. There was no Mixer open monetization. If you weren't a partner, you didn't really make money apart from donations, maybe Game Wisp at the time.
Even the partners that were making money, there was no Ninja money.
No, that wasn't
it didn't
a thing.
blow up. It hadn't blown up yet. There were people making a living off of it, but not that many, and it wasn't an inordinate amount. So it's a lot different now. When we started, the goal wasn't we weren't even thinking about the fact that we could possibly do this for a living at all. No. It was more hey, we're playing this game all the time. Why don't we try streaming it since we're playing it anyways? Yeah. And we enjoyed it, and it was fun, and it was. And that, very enjoyable to meet people, and that mindset has adapted over time, and we've taken a more business approach. But at the end of the day, the reason why we do this is because we enjoy doing it. We enjoy making content. We enjoy meeting people from all over the world. We enjoy the community aspect, and if we weren't, I don't think it would really matter how much money there was. I wouldn't do something that I don't enjoy. So, yeah. Did you want to take a quick look at kind of our growth on Twitch? Sure. I was just going to tie up the whole networking thing with one of our first forays into trying to collaborate with people was a thing we tried called Guardians for Good. Yes. Which we kind of put together a charity group that we kind of tried to do some charity streams with and organize some stuff. And it was a really valuable learning experience. Just learning how that dynamic works. Yep. Within the whole streaming industry. And yeah, it's definitely try it. With actually our latest Patreon tip is about organizing events. Yep. And what you can learn from them. And that's just another small aspect to networking. Definitely a really cool experience. Everything that we've done and tried throughout, from the very beginning to now, we've learned something from. Whether it's, man, that was a bad idea, or this doesn't really fit with us, or that was really good, we should do more of this. There's always something that we're learning, which is, I think, another reason that I really enjoy doing this, because it never ends.
there's always more. There's always more to look forward to. There's always more to learn. There's always more to get better at. So
it's also pretty interesting how, like, I mean, there's more resources now, but especially when we were starting, like, there was no guidebook, there was no manual, there was no course you could take.
There's no coaching.
It's so new that no one really exactly knew what they were doing. No one had years and years years of experience yet. I
would say there's still no, like, 100% like this is how you get success.
Well, it's such a constantly evolving area that. Not
only that, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it really just comes down to the individual as well. Some people are going to be their personalities are more outgoing, more entertaining. That's just the way they are, and some people are really going to struggle to do that. And that's not to say that those people that aren't naturally that way can't get better, but they're going to have to work a lot harder, and they're going to have to focus on those areas that they know they're weaker at. And some people don't want to recognize where their weaknesses are or work on them. They just kind of go, well, like, why am I not good enough the way I am? You know, and like that kind of mindset where you're not willing to constantly improve and review your VODs and look at your content. Would I watch this? You know, all of that kind of stuff. Those people aren't going to get very far. So went on a little bit of another tangent.
It's fine.
But that's kind of what this is about.
Yep. It was like a condensed podcast, kind of.
We're gonna put some graphs up on the screen for you to see, and this is basically. So I guess we made our Twitch account in June, but we don't actually have any viewer data until August. So I think
we didn't stream right away.
I think our first stream was in August, but we were watching streams for a few months. So you can see that, like, our viewership kind of went in waves. Mm-hmm. And then, like, peaked in, was that December 2017? And I think the reason it did that was because that's when we started streaming Trials.
No, Trials wasn't out yet. Oh,
in 2017?
Oh, never mind. That's 2016, babe. That's the end of 2016.
End of 2016. Sorry, you're right. End of 2016.
We would have been streaming Trials.
So we would have probably started streaming Trials around where you see, like, a significant bump in viewers here. Because it was something that people desired, and we're doing a lot. We would have been borderline a service stream at that point. We were mostly streaming Trials.
Mainly doing Trials raffles.
Mainly doing Trials raffles and whatnot. And then you see January, it drops off a little bit.
We took a big break there.
We took a big break. Yep. This next one that I'm showing you guys is the hours streamed per month, and it's kind of funny because it's not exactly the same curve,
but it's pretty close.
So you can see, like, where we streamed a lot and then we took a break, and then we streamed a lot and then we took a break, and then we streamed a lot and we took a break, and our viewers kind of went with that. So that's why consistency is so important. We talk about that all the time, and that's why we try to stick to a schedule and really, like, stream when we're supposed to and stick to a certain amount of hours and stuff per week, because it translates into viewers. And that's all I'm going to show you guys for graphs, because we have some more, but they're for the next one.
Yes. So that pretty much, that was way longer than I thought it was going to be.
I figured they'd be about 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Maybe the next one will be shorter.
Maybe, yeah.
Who knows? This was a big one. So thank you guys for joining us. I really hope that you enjoyed it. You know, if you have any feedback, definitely be sure to let us know. It's actually really nice for us to just look back and see kind of where we've come from and what we've done, and how far we've come, because it's kind of nice to see.
Yeah,
you know,
it's good reflection to kind of look back. It's obviously always good to look forwards, but there's a lot to be learned from your past experiences, and I hope you guys can learn something from it as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Peace.